Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Antony Vijay. Today we are going to discuss about data types and variables in C programming. So first of all, we have to know what is data type. So data type is different types of data. The human can understand the types of data by own, but the computer cannot understand. Accordingly, there are certain notations for each and every type of data. So when I talk about data types, there are two categories. The first one is primary data type. The other name for primary data type is primitive data type, and the second category is derived data types. So under primary data types, we are having integer, float, character, and double. When we talk about the derived data types, we are having structure, union, array, pointer, and finally enum. So today we are going to discuss about primary data types and along with variables also, because variables and data types are usually come together. We will see one by one through code blocks IDE. I just explained the data types concepts through sample program. So I just start with the header file hash include stdio.h, then void main, and curly braces we have to open close like this. So first I just explained the integer data type. Int is a short form of integer, and we have to mention a variable name. Okay, so here I am mentioning a, and we have to assign some value. For a is 50. So usually variable is used to store a value. Okay, here a is a variable. So now I am going to print this integer data. So for that I am using printf statement. Okay, so here I told you already, like for every data type there is a notation for understanding purpose by the computer. So for that here I am mentioning %d. %d for it's indicating integer data, and we have to put comma after that and mention a. Okay, so we will get the answer as 50 right now. So just I am building the program and running it. So we are getting answer as 50. So this is what normal thing. When I talk about identifying the size of the integer data, okay, in order to identify the size of the data type integer, we have to use, again I'm mentioning printf statement. Okay, so %u, put comma here. There is a function called size of. Within a bracket we have to mention a, and finally end with a semicolon. Now I am once again build it and run the program. See, we are getting 4. 4 means what? 4 bytes. So 4 bytes means what? So 1 byte is 8 bits. So 4 bytes means 32 bits. So each and every integer can hold 32 bits of memory. So this is the size. This is the way we can identify the size of the integer. Likewise, we can apply for other data types. Like now we can check for float. So float, for float you can use decimal values. So okay, usually integer can have whole number, positive values and negative values, and float only having decimal values. So 50.945 like that. Okay, so now I am printing this value. So if you want to print the float value, so you have to use %f. F means what? Float, and put comma here and mention a again. So now I am building and run the program. So we will get the answer as 50.945, having some additional zeros. It means float is having a capacity of 6 decimal places. So you can mention 3 more additional decimal values like this. So 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay. Now I am once again build the program and run it. So we will see the answer as, so 50.945122. This is what the size of float. Okay, now we can check the size of float. So same %u means what? Unsigned. So identifying the size of a float. So in the place we have to put size of. Size of is a function, predefined function. So within a bracket we have to mention again a. Now build and run the program. So again 4. Okay, so keep in mind, so for float and integer the same size only. So 4 byte is a common one. Okay, but float is only having decimal values, keep in mind. So when I talk about double is little bit more capacity. So double means you can have around 15 decimal places. So I can mention like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6. totally I'm having 15 decimal places. Okay, so 0 point like that. Okay, 0 0.1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, again 1 2 3 4 5 6. It means I'm having 15 decimal places. So in order to print the value of double, we have to use percentage LF. L means what? Long. F means float. So long float. So it occupies more memory when compared to float. Okay, so here, so I want to use A. Okay, and before printing, you have to mention dot 15. Dot 15 means what? 15 decimal places. So without mentioning, defaultly it will print only 6 decimal places. If you mention dot 15, it means it will print 15 decimal places. See the answer. I am building and run the program. So we will get all the decimal places as it is. Okay. In case if I not mentioning that 0.15, automatically it will take only 6 decimal places. See 1 2 3 4 5, and the last bit is rounded off. Okay, so this is what generally, so for that purpose only I told you. So if you want to print all the decimal values, okay, we have to mention 0.15. Okay, so instead of 0.15, if you mention 0.10, it means 10 decimal places. So it will print up to 10 decimal places. It starts with 1 and end with 1. Okay, so this is what the double data type. And when you go for identifying the size of a double, the same process, percentage u you have to mention, and so size of same predefined function we have to use. And okay, now once again build and run the program. So it is showing 8. Okay, so double is double the size of float. Okay, so float is 4 bytes of memory, it is 8 bytes of memory. This is what double. And when I talk about character, okay, character, so character hold only one character of data. So char a is so usually in C programming we have to use in a single quotes only. Okay, so I am using B. Okay, so for character we have to represent in terms of C. This is the representation of character, and we have to print as A. Okay, so I am running, so we are getting answer as B. So this is the different way. So like integer percentage D, or we can use percentage I also, and for float we have to use percentage F, and for double we have to use percentage LF, and finally character we have to use percentage C. At the same time, if you want to find the size of it, again same manner, percentage U, size of, the same process will be repeated for all the things. Size of, then I'm running it. So size is 1. So 1 means 1 byte, it means 8 bits. It can hold up to only one character at a time. So this is the capacity of character. When I talk about string, string means what? More than one character. So this concept having some capacity of, we have to use single dimensional array for that. Okay, if you mention something within a square brackets, that is called as array. So it means you can give string values. Okay, so I am declaring like this, char a of 10. It means it can hold up to 10 characters. So now I am using runtime input for it. So scanf, so percentage S. So S means what? It's a string. So this is a notation for identifying. Okay, so compiler accordingly I understood. Okay, so comma, we have to mention A, then semicolon. Finally it will print, it will print the value A. Okay, so the string is, okay, equal to, now I am running the code. So it is asking input from us. So I am giving Antony. Okay, so Antony is having 6 characters only, so no problem. So the string is Antony. So this is what we are getting the output. So this is the way we are utilizing string also. Okay, so here now we can see about rules of variables. Okay, so when I talk about rules, so variables supposed to start with the number or character. Okay, for example, so a, we can use a, but you cannot use 2a. Okay, a variable should not start with a number, that is wrong. And at the same time, a variable can have combination of two words. Okay, but we should not use space between them. Okay, a particular variable should not have spaces, so we have to avoid two things. One is avoid of using numbers in the front of a variable and spaces between the words. So in order to avoid this, we have to use underscore between the words, that is better. Or you can use capitalize the first letter of every word, so C and here name. So this is the different ways we can use. Okay, so this is the rules of variables. Okay, so I just going to print one value for car name. Car name is equal to I'm using 10. Okay, I'm using Audi for it. Audi. Okay, so I'm printing the value printf. So this is a string, so we have to use %s, then put comma here, and we have to mention the variable car name as it is. Okay, so if you miss any one of the character, it will show you error. Okay, so this is case sensitive, so each and every letters supposed to be in a proper case. Okay, so finally end with semicolon, then I run the code. So the answer is Audi. So this is the process of utilizing the variables. Okay, so guys, I hope everyone interested in my topic. So in the future session we will see more about C programming, and there are a lot of complex topics also. I will cover all those things in future sessions, and thank you very much for watching, and keep subscribe my channel.